Hi everyone, so today we're going to learn how to form the present progressive tense in Korean, and we'll also learn how to use this verb tense. We'll first consider two ways of forming the present progressive verb structure, and the first way is using 고 있다. 고 있다 means to be plus verb ing in English. And we basically add 고 있다 to the verb stem to make the present progressive structure to be plus verb ing. So we can say 사다, 사고 있다, to be buying, 먹다, 먹고 있다, to be eating, 듣다, 듣고 있다, to be listening, 공부하다, 공부하고 있다, to be studying. And to say these verbs in sentences, we can say 저는 음악 듣고 있어요. I'm listening to music. 저는 음악 듣고 있어요. 난 공부하고 있어. I'm studying. 난 공부하고 있어. So that's not too difficult, right? We basically add 고 있다 to the verb stem to make the present progressive verb structure. And 고 있다 is the most common and general way of forming a progressive tense. However, there is another way of describing a progressive action, and that's using ninjunida. The literal meaning of ninjunida is to be in the middle of something. The syllable 중 is a dependent noun that means middle. And dependent nouns basically don't function on their own. And they need to be used with other nouns to become a noun of their own. So using this syllable, we can form other words that relate to the meaning of middle. For example, to actually say middle in Korean, we can say 중간, 중간. And the Korean word for middle school is 중학교, 중학교. And the word for China is 중국, 중국, which literally means middle country. So when we say ninjunida, it means that we're in the middle of doing something. And it essentially expresses the same meaning as 고 있다. Now, same as 고 있다, to add ninjunida to verbs, we simply add ninjunida to the verb stems. So we can say 사는 중이다, to be buying. 먹는 중이다, to be eating. 듣는 중이다, to be listening. 공부하는 중이다, to be studying. And in sentences, we can say 저는 음악 듣는 중이에요. I'm listening to music. I'm in the middle of listening to music. 저는 음악 듣는 중이에요. 난 공부하는 중이야. I'm studying. I'm in the middle of studying. 난 공부하는 중이야. So although the nuance of these sentences is slightly different from the sentences that use 고 있다, in essence, both verb structures convey the same meaning of a progressive action. Okay, so that's the structure of the present progressive tense. Let's now look at how we use this verb tense. Now, in English, we mainly use the present progressive structure in three ways. To talk about what we're doing now, so I can say, I'm talking to the camera. To talk about what we're doing around the time of speaking, so not necessarily right now, but something I'm doing these days. So I can say, I'm reading a book about creativity. So this is not what I'm doing right now, but something I'm doing these days. Lastly, we use the present progressive to talk about future plans. So I can say, I'm meeting a friend this weekend. Now, there are other uses with the present progressive tense in English, but these are the three main uses. Now, in Korean, we don't use the present progressive verb tense to talk about future plans, but we do use it to talk about what we're doing right now and something we're doing around the time of speaking. So I can say, 저는 유튜브 영상 촬영하고 있어요. I'm making a YouTube video. 저는 유튜브 영상 촬영하고 있어요. So in this sentence, I've used 고 있다 to talk about what I'm doing now. And to say that you're watching YouTube using ninjunida, you can say 저는 유튜브 보는 중이에요. I'm watching YouTube. 저는 유튜브 보는 중이에요. So we can use either 고 있다 or ninjunida to talk about what we're doing now. Now, we can also use both 고 있다 or ninjunida to talk about something we're doing around the time of speaking. So if you're looking for a new job these days, you can say 저는 요즘 새로운 일을 찾고 있어요. I'm looking for a new job these days. 저는 요즘 새로운 일을 찾고 있어요. Or you can say, 저는 요즘 새로운 일을 찾는 중이에요. I'm looking for a new job these days. 저는 요즘 새로운 일을 찾는 중이에요. So you can use both 고 있다 and 는 중이다 to talk about something you're doing around the time of speaking, but not necessarily at that time. Okay, so in short, we have two verb structures we can use to form the present progressive tense, and we can use the present progressive tense in Korean to talk about what we're doing right now and what we're doing around the time of speaking. However, there is one other verb structure we can use like the present progressive tense. Quite often in Korean, when we want to talk about a progressive action, we actually use the present simple tense. So to ask what someone is doing now, rather than asking 너 뭐 하고 있어? Or 너 뭐 하는 중이야? It's as common to use the present simple tense and just ask 너 뭐 해? And to ask what are you eating or what are you watching, you can just say 너 뭐 먹어? 너 뭐 봐? And even when we're answering these questions, rather than using the present progressive verb structure, we can actually use the present simple and say 나 지금 숙제해. I'm doing homework now. 나 피자 먹어. I'm eating pizza. And 나 영화 봐. I'm watching a film. And as well as talking about what we're doing now, we can also use the present simple tense to talk about what we're doing around the time of speaking. So to say that I'm looking for a new job these days, I can say 나 요즘 새로운 일을 찾아. I'm looking for a new job these days. 나 요즘 새로운 일을 찾아. So in Korean, we can use the present simple tense in the same way as the present progressive tense, and using the present simple to talk about what we're doing now and what we're doing around the time of speaking is very common in everyday situation. Okay, so that's it for today on learning the present progressive tense in Korean. I hope you found everything useful, and I'll see you soon again. Bye-bye.